everybody. We are back for our next episode of Almost a Party. It's been good to reconnect with everybody after last week and get caught up. Uh, Quite the long session, although it was our shortest session, I guess there was a lot that happened and a lot that didn't happen at the same time. I don't know, it was weird. But our players have arrived back in the city of Drusus, and they are trying to decide which way they went. We ended with them splitting up, going to different temples and to the bar, getting drunk, and we will be picking up in the morning. Reiga is back. If Reiga wants to say hello, we'll see when and if Reiga's character shows up today. But Reiga is here.
Hello.
So Reiga
Yay.
is
I have
back. So
returned.
so I did not lie to you all last week. Yay!
Woohoo.
Well,
Well, I
at
mean,
least
you're
about
the
that.
DM. You did lie about something, I'm sure.
Did I lie about anything? Can we prove that?
In time.
No, we can't prove that.
Exactly. Therefore, I did not lie to you all. So, you all either sent me stuff that you wanted to get shopping, and you got that. That we're gonna say that you went ahead and got that taken care of, Rev. And in the morning, you guys all wake up in the Shining Moon Inn, and the day is yours with your choices ahead of you. So, what would you like to do as your day begins?
I don't know.
It's a tough decision. Lots of things to choose from.
It is.
Ori will probably go find the temple to Thalia and just mainly to see if it looks the same way as the temple that we came across in Bracknell.
hmm Yeah, so you were there last night. The temple is the very similar structure, um, and so they also have an outdoor viewing area, but instead of it being in the backyard of the temple like it was down in the wilds, it's actually on the roof.
Cool. And the exterior is still that same kind of dark onyx with faux stars,
Very much.
keeping that motif.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, Ore's going to go into the temple and ask one of the priests there to, since he's kind of rededicating himself a little bit to being a disciple of Thalia, would like to get whatever the actual literature on Thalia is for his personal reference.
Okay.
I'm sure they have some kind of Bible, but uh, he's just going to go try and find those something of that ilk.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's easy enough to pick up the different symbols for her, as well as just basic information that you can find about her. Uh, as far as most religions goes, there are some religious texts, but mostly it is all done through prayer and devotion. And with Thalia specifically, a lot of star reading is involved.
Yeah, that works for him. He's totally going to go like look through the star charts and probably ask again some of the disciples there if they've had any further information from what they learned in Bracknell as well.
Okay. These priests are not aware of what you learned in Bracknell. They know about uh, Ayabar going missing, but they weren't involved in that specific meeting. So that discussion isn't anything they're specifically aware of.
Oh, then it's going to be a surprise to him when I start laying down the facts.
Mizaki's gonna obviously he's had his adventures and he's gonna just be chilling at the inn with his new dagger, trying to figure out what in the world they should do. Cause there's a lot of places they could go, and he doesn't know.
Sati is currently hoping for a hangover remedy.
Ito also is hoping for that. Ito is out today. Elandio?
I mean, as a lesser restoration fix.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I Alandil is going to be praying in the temple for guidance and doing trying to find any of the former Ayabar um, priests to catch their likenesses. Try and really capture those moments
Okay.
of how they're feeling in art.
Yeah, so there are a couple of the former priests of Ayabar that have taken up residence at the Temple of Arnwell and have given themselves into her service.
I will welcome them into the service, give them proper condolences, and just give them all sorts. Just be a good shepherd into the fellowship.
Okay.
And I'll tell everybody else that I'll be doing that. And I'm happy to follow the group and aid and provide Arnwell's blessings the best I can to them. And if they need me, if they need me before I return, they can find me here.
Okay. So Alandiel and Ore have gone off, leaving Mizeki to ponder alone with Sadzi and Ito, who are both hungover, about what their next course of action is. As the morning passes, as eventually a human stumbles into the bar at the Shining Moon Inn, looks around for a moment, spots Sadzi, walks over, and says, Counselor Harrington sends his regards, but cannot currently come to pick you up at the moment. He still wishes that you will come to visit him whenever you get the opportunity. And then he turns and begins to leave and walk out.
Hey, do you know if he'd be cool with me bringing my friends?
As the messenger leaves, he turns and he goes, I don't see why not, but he did not specify one way or the other.
Cool. Thanks. I'm never drinking that much rum again. Until tomorrow.
Ito goes, You mean tonight? It is tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's always a tomorrow. I mean, that sounds like a plan then. We're gonna follow you on a magical adventure to meet the guy that lives near the spooky forest who won't show up and talk to people. I've been
It's
on
just
worse
me or
days.
I was gonna say, doesn't this sound like the setup to a horror story?
Win some, you lose some. Worst case, I mean, he is a counselor still, so I feel like there's some oversight.
What's the worst that could happen?
Death.
No. Worse. Endless Mondays.
So
Monday forever. Ugh.
Zeki's gonna pop out a little piece of paper and write down their options, I guess, as he sees them,
Okay.
which is like, because he doesn't consider chasing after Shadow or going back to the wilds right now real options, because he doesn't think they're capable enough for that. So he's got Utra to try and find a reasonable thing to gather to take with them to the temple. Fun times in Counselor Scaryland. And the last one is just staying around here and attempting to learn many more things. And so he's going to put his, like a coin, a copper for him on the spot of going to Scaryland. And then suggest to Ito and Sadzi that they should also present their ideas, and if we need to add anything.
Ito, not knowing this area at all, is just gonna go along with whatever the rest of the group decides. Do you know where to find Alandiel to get his input, as he told you as he was leaving for the temple? And same with Ore.
Yeah, at this point, he probably would hop up, and since he now kind of has a direction he thinks they might want to go in, he'll hop up and hunt them down, probably starting with Elendil, since he expects Ori will be more distracted longer, is how he's found it in the past.
Ore is very easily distracted for sure. All right. Sadzi, are you going along, or are you and Ito going to stay in the bar with your hangovers?
We're going to stay in the comfortable darkness of the bar.
Okay, fair enough. All right, yeah. So Mizeki, it doesn't take you too long to reach the temple district and find the temple to Aranwell, where you encounter Alandiel. Alandiel, while you have been in this temple, you have, as I stated before, found a couple of the previous priests of Ayabar, and you were able to welcome them and do your sketches. Was there anything else that you were wanting to do in the temple as Mizeki is on his way to you?
I would just like to confirm with the head priests and seek if they have any words on what the things that we've been tasked with, if Aranwell would favor any action in particular over any other, or if it's a pretty much keep spreading the good word.
Yeah, so given that Aranwell is the goddess of life and death, she finds that all life is precious, but understands that there are times when things must die and must be brought to an end. So, doing anything you can in the preservation of life, including being the death of one who can cause it, is always good to do, is kind of the general attitude of the worshippers and followers of Aranwell.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then I'll clutch my amulet, offer up some more prayers, and again, counsel the new devotees of Aranwell. I guess I'd ask them a little bit about if they had any insight into what Ayabar was up to before his passing that they were aware of.
The priests of Aranwell or the former priests of Ayabar
The,
here?
the former Ayabar priests.
Okay.
What, like, their most recent objectives from Ayabar were.
So they informed me that most recently he had been worried about the lost divines. And they go into the story about how during the age of the folly of men, it was said that there were many more divines leading up to that point, and there were several whom were lost to time and to history, that very few names exist anymore, but there are pieces all scattered throughout the world indicating that there were more than what there are now.
I asked them if there's any connection between the forgotten lost divines and Fingerod's ring.
They pause for a moment and go, "We aren't super familiar with Fingerode. We do know that Ayabar sat on top of the Pantheon, and so he worked very closely with many of the different divines. And it was said that Finger Road, although his main thing is to be the protector of the seas, that sometimes he would just be the protector and keeper of information. It is possible, though we don't know, that his ring could be part of that job. However, the priests of Finger Road that we have spoken with in the past do not even believe that Finger Road's ring is even real, that it is more myth and legend than fact.
Cool.
Neat.
At this point, Mizeki comes in through the temple, and you see him there. Just him.
Hey, Mizeki.
Hello. We heard back from that counselor man. His messenger has basically said he's not currently available, but we can show up whenever, and the rest of us are able to come along.
What information would Ellendale know about Counselor Harrington?
Go ahead and give me just a general intelligence check, and we'll just see what bits of information you've gathered in working with your counselor and just
I
from
have
being in
proficiency in
Druses.
history.
hmm
If
Uh,
that
well, if you're going for the counselor, history won't apply. But if you're going
okay,
just for Harrington for its nation, then you can go for history.
I'll go for I guess Harrington, and then it'll do the area in and of itself. Oh, that's a nat one for a 5.
Uh, you know that Harrington is a nation.
Okay. Um,
It is, in fact, a nation.
it is a place. That's true. Um, yeah, I'm cool. Sadzi's been through a lot with all things considered, what we just went through. I'd be happy to lend a hand and continue to travel with you guys to Harrington. That'll give us time to come up with a plan for how to best handle Shadow. Give us some more time to ponder on that. This seems like a good, lighthearted trip. Do we know what the counselor wants? Anything that we should bring with us?
We don't know anything else.
Cool. I'll let the temple know that I'm gonna go with my friends soon-ish. I'm assuming, and then I look over to Mizeki to like when I say soonish for like kind of suggesting like, do we know when we're gonna leave? Like a day, tomorrow, sometime. And if I don't get a response,
He will just shrug, like he
so
doesn't have a date set.
I turn back soonish to Harrington, and we'll probably swing back around. If there's anything I can continue to do out in the field, let me know. Otherwise, take care, brothers and sisters, and may Arenwell always watch over.
All right. They nod as you take your leave and be like, "We will send message if there's anything that you can do while we are out. While you are out."
Cool.
All right. The two of you then go looking for Ore, who at this point has found his information in the Temple of Thalia and has begun wandering through the temple district. Um, as you head in the direction, you come across him quite easily, as he definitely stands out being one of the few forged in this part of the world, and especially being such an old model.
All
Ore.
right.
Oh, hello. Do you like my new cloak? And he's wearing a very new, very nice dark cloak. Holds up the inside of it, and the inside of it has a starry pattern on the inside lining.
Ooh,
I found this, and I
impressive.
felt compelled to acquire it. How was your morning?
It's been wonderful. Speaking with new priests, comforting, welcoming others to the flock.
Better than Ito and Sadzi's,
Are they ill?
True dat.
in a manner of speaking. They've had a bit more than they should have to drink, which happens occasionally. But as regards that, we've learned that the rest of us can accompany Sadzi if we so please.
Yes. Did the rest of us hear Sadzi has a condition, or was that just written in that letter?
That was written in that letter, so unless Sadzi has spoken it to you, you do not know about it. You just know that Sadzi informed you that she has been invited to go visit uh, Duke von Harrington the Ninth in the nation of Harrington.
The
Cool,
only
cool.
condition we know about for Sadzi is that her dad died.
Yes.
And
And-
that she was banished at one point.
And
Yeah.
she was previously banished.
I do hope that the news that the counselor has for her will not take her away from us, as what has happened with Sephin.
It's not her
We should check on
counselor.
them. Oh, my confusion. But still. Let us run to them. Or is there other business you were looking for here as well?
He just shakes his head and shrugs. I don't have anything in particular. I was just looking for a path, and this seems to be one.
Understood. If we have time before we reach them, or perhaps after we meet with her counselor, would you be interested in joining me at the library? I was thinking of looking something up, but it can wait.
Certainly. Why not? Always things to look up. I've got a 14 intelligence. I look things up sometimes.
You look
We
things
share
up
the same
sometimes.
intelligence.
I think pretty much all of you share that intelligence.
All
Mhm.
of us. The problem is only one of us gets to use it at once, and that's why we keep making bad decisions.
Yeah,
It's like that crystal eye from the witches in Wrath of the Titans.
yeah. All of you have a 14 intelligence except for Ito, who has a 15.
Of course it does.
Ito
Those
has a
pesky-
15.
Ito is the
Those pesky
smartest.
minotaurs.
That explains so much. All right, so I think we'll go back and gather and kind of do a collective vote with the little paper he made. See if everybody agrees, or if we want to
Okay.
do something else.
Yeah. And others can throw out other ideas of places that they want to
Yes.
go. Because although Mizeki considers Shadow and finding the Fertile Blessing out of the question, the others may
and
not.
and he would make that clear. It's like, if you've got other ideas, feel free to put them down, and we can figure this out. But
Yeah, Ito is apparently watching the stream instead of doing their homework, and is telling you guys you all suck because he's smarter than you. All right. So Mizeki, you have on your list. You have go to Harrington. You have return to Utra, and you have study. Right?
yes,
Were your three options?
or
Okay.
pursue studies intrusives.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else that they want to throw into that? Because there's obviously the research you can do into the divines. And then there is obviously you can go hunt down Shadow and go hunt down the Fertile Blessing if you want. Those are the things that you know about. There's also just plenty to explore and go and do.
Ore wanted to do a little bit of research and see if there was any additional information he'd be able to find from the library here on Fertile's Blessing more than what he's already discovered on the other books that they had in the wild, and quite possibly turn in some of the books if the party is okay with some of the books that we acquired and donating them to the library. And check with the library if there is, since he now knows there's a circle there, to see if he's able to get permission to use that network and find out what other cities have a circle that he'd be able to get to.
Okay.
I ask permission to get this circle's the library circle's pattern.
All right. Yeah, they will let you copy that down.
Cool.
Given your work with the council. So.
We can always get back here now.
Well, as long as you have someone that can
Assuming we
cast
have
the
a
spell.
magic circle.
Yeah. Well, just someone that can cast the spell for you. Ore, they let you know that they have various temples that they can send you to, locations throughout the continent. So the main places that they could send you, again, were Orthris and Mint. Are the two other major places that they can send you to here that they've got the circles on. Now that you've given them the circle outside of Kuche, they can also send you there.
Cool. So it was, I apologize, you said it was Mint,
Orthris.
Orthris.
Yep.
And what was the other one?
The one that you guys found down
just
in
one in
Kuche.
Kuche. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mint and Orthris.
Where's Orthris?
Orthris is just
Orthris
down the street.
Yeah, it's just down the road.
It's a week's walk. So.
And to confirm if there is potentially a library in Steel. Or near Steel.
There is a library in Oberland's Haven. Would be a large library over in Manway, which is about a week's journey from Steel. So, but they don't have any connections, no circles over there.
Cool. And while I'm in the library, I'm going to try and just do a quick search on other adventurers who were up against more powerful foes and how they prevailed. Just to kind of get an idea of what I need to be doing to start preparing for that next interaction with Shadow.
Okay. So yeah, you can do research on various battles there. One of the key battles that you find is about Lyric, the Kingslayer. Given that he was outmatched, he was very intelligent fighter and a master of tactics. He was always about making sure, no matter what the situation was, he knew as much as he could. So he was always very dedicated in preparing before he went into any kind of fight. Gathered as much information, set up whatever he could to give himself an advantage.
And there wouldn't be any details I'd be able to find on Shadow in the library, is there?
There are no details that you find on Shadow. Your question about the books, I don't know if the party okayed them or not, but the temple would, or the library would greatly accept them.
Mizaki's cool with it as long as we can get some briefs on what's in them if anything's useful ever.
Oh yeah, Ore would have noted on the time on the boats, both boats back ways. Ore would have spent time reading all of them and getting an idea for each of those books. His main focus was getting details on Fertle's Blessing, but would have certainly cataloged the other books and what their details were.
Right.
I mean, as long as we've got the info from them, then they're not special intrinsically to Mazeki.
Okay. And as far as additional books here on Fertile's Blessing, and there are a few references to it as a lost and secret temple of agriculture. Let me. Apparently, I closed that page. Let me grab that up real quick.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yeah,
Good show.
it's a great
I'm
show.
ready.
Right.
I'll be honest, I still kind of wish it was around, but like for adults.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be great, right? But yeah, so it is Agricola and Cadalva are who the temple is for. And the information that you find uh, references that many, many years ago, it was a temple where people could come and go freely. But since then, it is a temple that anyone who has gone looking for since the Age of the Folly has not been able to find, which is why it's often referenced now as the Lost Temple.
Right. So all the same information that we'd had before, nothing new pointing us in the right direction of any kind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the books that the party is okay with turning into the library, I would certainly do. I know Ito wanted to hold on to some of them regarding historical epics. So any of those probably would have been sorted out on the boat. So if he did want those, he probably has those in his possession.
Okay.
And I would probably report to Herodo and just let him know what's transpired in my adventures so far, just to kind of keep him abreast, since the Hall of Records does want to keep records of what people discover and find out. There's certainly a full detail rundown of everything that happened in Bracknell, Kuche, the Wild.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
I should send a letter to my counselor. That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
will-
Easy enough to write up a letter and send it down to Tamiki.
Yeah, I will write up a letter describing the things they found about Fertile's Blessing, because he assumes that Tamiki's been being kept abreast of the other important things, and he doesn't want to send those in a normal letter. But he will write up that information and then the idea he thinks might be worth pursuing, as far as maybe they can find a tree and plant it there,
Okay.
or a seed.
Sounds good.
And when we meet up with Sadzi and Ito, I'd probably cast a spell. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of the spell where I take away their hangovers.
Fireball.
Yeah, Fireball. That's the spell I was thinking it was.
Lesser restoration.
Yes, Lesser Restoration. Thank you very much.
I don't know.
Lesser
Fireball could be a
restoration.
hair of the dog cure.
If they're knocked out, they're not hungover, right?
Exactly. So does anyone have any votes that they want to put in on our list of exciting choices?
I would greatly like to go after Shadow. Something tells me that his time of death should be soon. But I don't quite think we're ready for that rematch yet.
Zeki will point and say, and that is why I did not write it down. I feel like it would be walking to our deaths at this point. I believe we should pursue it and grow stronger, but not now.
I believe there should be additional information that, or possible equipment that we should have on our person before we engage him again as well.
Sadzi, I don't know anything about Harrington. How important is that to you?
I mean, I would like to, but I'm not necessarily going to put my aims over like what the group thinks we should do, because it is mostly my problem, if you will.
We are a team. Your problem is our problem. Can
Also,
you enlighten us as to why they wanted to meet with you?
it would feel really nice to accomplish something.
Well, you see,
No is a valid answer.
you know my dad banished me, right? There was a reason for that, and Harrington's letter alluded to that.
I was not aware. We should pursue this. It may be fate pointing us in the direction of where we should go next.
Well, maybe, but I'm not exactly sure what fixing that would do. But sure, why not? Let's give it a shot.
If it is able to help you, then as a team we grow stronger through you, as
Exactly.
is any of us able to provide.
And it has a clear goal, which I am in favor of at this moment.
Are you saying you just want to use my issues as a means to get something ticked off your to-do list?
Well,
No,
I mean, there's all the other benefits of like helping you and growing the team and everything.
Uh-huh.
And it just so happens to come with the morale boost of getting a W.
You have to take victories where you can.
Even if I say no, you guys are gonna pretty much force me into this, aren't you?
No,
I mean,
if
no.
not at all. If you say no, we will respect your wishes.
we got your back. If you want to go, we'll go. If you don't, that's cool too.
Backup plan is to go spend time in the desert. So if you guys want to do that, the GM has snacks. Get him.
Did you bring enough to share?
I think he's eating.
For the people in the room with him, yes.
We're virtually in the room.
Well,
Yeah,
then you can have
basically,
virtual snacks.
excellent. It basically comes down to if we don't pick this, then we're going to the desert unless someone has a better idea. And I don't
Desert or
remember you
scary
enjoying
forest
the
land?
desert.
Or a
What
city of
makes Harrington
robots.
scary?
I would also
sorry, I'm
like
not-
to throw out a couple things that you guys may have forgotten about.
Sure.
So you were invited in the very first session out to steal, because that was where, as you guys call him, Nomi Stark is from with all of their inventions. So you were invited to go out there. You were also invited to visit the shop in Orthris by the person that was giving you potion samples.
Oh, yeah, the shop is really close.
So, like, those are things that you guys haven't kind of mentioned, and I figure you forgot about them. So I just wanted to make sure, those are other things that you have to do, but they're not like anything super pressing. Like these other things seem to be a bit more pressing for you.
I think we kind of voted off the steel just because of how long it'll take to get there right now
Mhm.
until we get a faster travel method. But going to Orthris, which is like a week, right?
It's a week on
We
foot,
could definitely, yeah,
but
we could definitely do that.
there is also the
Circle.
circle.
And we get our travel comped.
The circle doesn't cost you guys anything.
Excellent.
So
It's library striding.
I feel like we should do that then. Maybe go to Orthris, check out the shop and all, just to do it at least, and then we can, if nothing else comes up, then maybe we go for spooky counselor man.
People keep saying spooky. What's spooky about that?
He's reclusive.
They don't talk about it a whole lot.
He's reclusive, and people keep disappearing from his nearby lands. That's spooky. Also, who names their child the same thing so many times in a row? Also spooky.
Landowners.
I heard it's like a human thing.
They're so strange.
Well, okay. If Sadzi does, we won't push you on the matter, Sadzi. Let's go to Orthus and check out that starry potion shop. That's their sigil, right? On the
Sure.
bottles.
Yeah, it was a star.
And there was like a bow and armor.
Yeah. So it had the 5-pointed star with the slash going through each of the points, forming the letter A, and it had a potion bottle, armor, and a bow and arrow in the center of it.
That sounds like gear and magic potions together. Both things that we could use in our fight against Shadow. Let's check it out.
That sounds like a good idea. I mean, if nothing else, we'll be better equipped.
Possibly. Turns out they charge money for these things.
Surprisingly enough, I've found that the barter system tends to work wonders. Even in big towns.
We could just farm some XP and some coin out of Berry's Marsh with low grade quests for a while.
Magic circle to Orthus, magic circle to Orthus, magic circle to Orthus. I say as I point at everybody.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Cool. We bypassed Orthus last time too. We just took the circle straight to Mint. I'm interested in checking out one of the other great cities.
I am very interested in looking into the Asmus Armory, Archery, and Alchemy that is in Orthrus. It does sound like possibly an inspired shop.
Okay. All right. So as you are having this discussion and you are talking about your decisions of where to go next, you are approached by a Leonin wearing fine armor, looking pretty regal as he goes, and he approaches you and he says, Reiga.
Greetings. He counts you guys. There's 6 of us, right? 1, 2, 3,
You
4.
make
There's
6.
5 of you. I make 6. Yeah. And so he just approaches you in a very direct manner. He looks pretty intimidating. He's wearing he's a big muscular Leonin. He's got a glaive on his back, and he is wearing scale mail. And he comes directly to you and says, "Who is the leader of this band?"
Why?
We are organized by diplomacy,
We're
not
more of a
hierarchy.
collective.
We're a semi-autonomous commune.
He shakes his head disapprovingly already. It is no wonder they sent me here. I am Valerian.
Like the
Greetings.
Hi, I'm Elendil.
Mizeki, who sent you?
The army
am
of
Groot.
Utra. You said what, Ore?
I am Brute. I am Ore. He almost said Bruce.
Remember, Ori, that's only for boats.
Does Ore still have his beard?
Yes.
He does. It's beautiful.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
We worked very hard on it as a team.
Ah, I see they have assigned an ancient war machine to this mission. Now it must be of grave import.
I missed it. Who did you say sent you, Valerian?
Utra,
Utra
did
Command.
they tell you what your mission was? This is very important.
He shoots you a glance. And the glance says like, "What are you, stupid?" And then he says basically the same thing. As you know, it is not common protocol to tell an operative what their mission is before they get there. And he's like constantly scowling. This is how he normally talks. So, what is the mission? I heard that you attacked some gnolls.
That portion of the mission is partially complete, and we probably should not discuss the full details here in the open. Do you have any written orders or proof that you can provide us so that we might discuss these more sensitive details?
You would
As
dare question me?
you would dare not be questioned?
He harumphs and produces a parchment paper, and on it is basically scribbled, "Go to Drusus and find 5 adventurers. They need you to lead them." That's all it says. And then there's like
Is
a
it
little
signed?
signature. Yeah, there it is.
Mhm.
Who is it signed by?
It is,
Premner.
yeah, it's signed by Premner Iron Eye.
Does Rizeki recognize that name?
Uh, were you part of the army in Utra at all?
He was not, but he probably drank with them a lot.
Well, you would have drank with the contingency that was in the city that can't be named, and so this isn't a name that you are familiar with.
Okay. I feel like now, out of character, would be the time to verify this information with the council, maybe. Do we know if we can contact Tamiki quickly?
You currently have no way to reach Tamiki directly. You do have a sending stone that you have not used that connects you to Zamza. You could see if
Okay.
Zamza can connect to Tamiki, or you can go see if you can track down Marble and see if Marble can get you, because you know for sure that he would be able to,
Yeah,
given that he's the Grand Counselor.
I
You
feel like tracking down Marble would be our best bet at this point, just because we just had a run-in where a dude wasn't a dude.
right?
Isn't Harrington also a counselor?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Harrington,
Yeah,
you could go there and
It's a
find
long
him.
way to
and we're about to
confirm.
meet him anyway, right? Aren't we?
No, he
Sadly,
sent a
still.
messenger that said he couldn't come meet us.
Oh, gotcha.
Mhm.
Sorry. Ore will look up at the Leonid and say, "As a point of correction, I don't believe I was constructed for warfare."
Let's
He's gonna give you a quizzical look, but not press the matter at the moment.
let's go speak with Marble. That will hopefully clear these things up, and he can inform you of our current objectives.
Marvelous.
Does Valerian have a luscious mane?
He does. It is very luscious, like the picture.
I am going to be putting flowers into that randomly. What is your passive perception? Just so I know if I failed.
Well, you can ask the DM.
Uh huh. Well, you can just make your rolls, and Valerian can tell you whether he
Fair.
noticed or not.
I've got a passive 17, but it's not a skill that you use passives on.
Well, I guess as we walk to the counselors, I'm just following along. I'm like, I hope this isn't too formal, but I bet with the right lighting, in an early sun. Oh man, I just imagine you standing there, and I hold my hands up, framing, using my thumbs and pointers to like frame him, like the sun, right at about like little after the rise, catching in your mane. Okay, uh, we'll have to schedule some time to get a portrait of you. That mane and your armor, that gleam. Oh, sun coming in. Okay, how do you do around water? and or the color teal.
He actually cracks a smile for a second, and then he says, "Ah, they've assigned a historian already. Well, let us first get to the mission at hand." But he is clearly pleased at thinking you are a royal chronicler or historian of sorts to chronicle the successes they're about to have.
I mean, that's basically true.
It's not
He's so
wholly
optimistic.
inaccurate.
Yes, it's not wholly inaccurate.
Did he say
So-
what his mission was? I apologize if I missed it.
His mission is to help us on our mission. We
His
don't
mission
have
is
a
to
mission.
lead us on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
technically his
they,
mission
and
is to lead us.
and he
Okay.
doesn't have details of your mission, so it's gonna get real here in a little bit.
So Ora is going to ask, please enlighten us as to the full details of your mission.
He grows a little bit impatient and he lets out a little like mini growl. As I have just told this Mizeki, he has to remember Mizeki's name real quick because we just met. I have been sent here by Ucha Command, and it is not policy to tell one's mission in the unlikely event that some saboteurs could capture me of all people on the way here. But because of this, I default this for a second. Do not know the details of our mission.
I'm sure the lead counselor can clear all this up for us. Easy peasy.
Marvelous.
Marvel.
Yep, you could go and find Marble.
He corrects him, even though it's obvious he's not talking about it.
He doesn't
Because
catch
he
the
thinks it's
correction.
funny. Oh, damn. So yeah, we go find Marble, and we're basically want to explain like this dude just showed up, and given we've had a recent history of people not being who they are, we wanted to check with you.
Okay. I just sent a question to Reiga that I'm waiting on an answer for, but you guys can definitely track down Marble in the meantime.
Awesome.
Okay.
I guess it's good that my new fancy dagger isn't freaking out. Like that's a positive, right?
Ora is really like unconsciously just feeling the fabric between his
on.
metallic fingers on his new cloak, but he's not paying any attention to the fact that he's actually doing it.
Mizeki's cloak is constantly fluttering at this point.
Okay. So you guys make your way to the town hall, and in search of Marble. As you knock on the door, you are greeted by several of the guards. But these are not Marble's guards. These are Victor's, who you met yesterday as well. He is the counselor, again, for Drusus itself and that area, whereas, again, Marble is over him. So as you come in, he gathers you around and goes, "So, what can I do for you? And it seems you have picked up a new friend."
That was what we wanted to check on. This is supposedly Valerian, and they say they have been sent by Ultra Command. And we wondered if we could get in contact with someone who could verify that information. Given recent events.
Yeah, that would make sense. Let me send a message down to Tamiki and see what she knows. If anybody from the army was being sent up here, whatever orders have been sent out, and we'll see if we can't track them down. And then he turns to Valerian and says, "What is your name and rank, sir?"
As I have told these, he starts, and then realizing he's speaking to a commander, he goes, or a counselor. As I have told my new friends, I am Valerian, Wildfang, of the Azure City, rank Sergeant, commanding officer, Fremnor Iron Tusk.
Iron Eye.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right.
And he goes, the Azure City? As he speaks that Mizeki, that's a term that you've heard referenced a few times, Iams.
Okay.
But you just always know it as Bluton.
Oh. Okay.
So
He's gonna just chime in with Bluton, like in a half questioning. Azure City.
Valerian will just glare and nod. Yes, your kind calls it Bluton.
Victor goes, all right. Well, we'll see if we can't get a hold. We'll send this message off to Tamiki and find out what we can. In the meantime, you are welcome to stay here, or you can just report back later in the afternoon when I should have an answer.
Valerian will kind of storm out of the room. This is preposterous. Ucho Command never told me of the dire situations here. Can't even follow a chain of command. And then he'll walk out of the room.
If we hadn't
Does
just,
anybody know what just happened? I'm still
believe-
confused.
I believe someone has been sent on good purpose to join us in aiding the various tasks we are undergoing. But we did just encounter a situation where high level magic was used to obfuscate and kill someone. So we're being careful.
Are we recognized as an organized military unit?
No.
Organized?
We are neither of those things. We are a unit, maybe?
I just
No.
believe we were special envoy for the counselors to look into contracted work, was my understanding.
My best guess is, given our recent involvement with the Null issue, someone in the military got the bright idea to send a soldier to us to help so that they could get kudos.
Or to lead us as a paramilitary organization outside any formal chain of command, given authority by the counselors to do whatever we want with little ramifications.
We would be
And
a
they wish
terrible
to wield
selection for
that. Or a
terrible
great one,
selection.
because nobody would believe that we were tied to the council.
Perfect. Of course, our track record is also just impeccable.
Hey, we completed our task.
How
Also,
many of
somebody
our
should
VIPs
check in and
survived?
see. Speaking of that, have we received confirmation that our good buddy's still okay? If he was able to get to safety.
We are not high enough of import to get those confirmations.
Oh, we have that
No,
message stone.
Yeah, we
Just
did.
say,
Yeah,
like,
we did. We asked
"Hey,
about it
bro,
yesterday.
are you
last game.
okay?"
What good
We
friend are you
haven't-
talking about?
Yeah.
Stefan.
The counselor.
Yeah, Zamza.
Okay.
Zamza. Yes.
Not Zamza. Yeah, we
I
haven't
totally
asked
did
about
not
Stefan yet.
did not temporarily forget Zamza's name.
So we haven't messaged Zamza today. I imagine he's probably busy, and what could we do anyway? It is better to assume he is all right until we discover otherwise.
I'm sure
Or
we would
have-
be informed. Yeah.
Well, he's not going to tell us himself if he's in grave danger.
Or if he's dead.
I have. Hello, team. I have died.
I'm sorry, the messaging stone you've reached cannot be answered right now. Please hang up and try again later.
No longer in service. So at this point, I guess Miseki doesn't feel entirely safe wandering around right now. So he's gonna just chill in the office. He would suggest maybe Ori can go do his studying, since that was the thing we wanted to do. And it sounds like if this all works out, it sounds like our plan is to teleport to the other city and just keep going. So now would be the time to study.
I'll go talk with Valerian, see if I can get a better feel for
All right.
the Leonin. He's a
Quick-
much bigger cat person than the other cat person.
I would
Saji,
not
would you like to
call him a
accompany
cat
me
person.
to do research?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
Ito will accompany Alandiel in case Alandiel needs protection.
Hello. So I'll walk out of the counselor's chamber and try and look around for the big Leonin.
Valerian, did you go
The
very
big-
far?
It'll be pretty easy to follow where he's at because he's storming away and people are giving him his distance. But yes, you see the back of a mane and a lion tail swishing and swashing back and forth furiously.
Hey, Valerian, come back here, and I'll jog up.
He turns around as you jog up to him as if like you're attacking like an attacker.
I
He's
hold my
always
hands up.
he's
I'm like,
alert.
whoa.
Then
Yep.
he will soften a minute. Ah, Dandiel. What is it?
See,
Ellen
Elandiel,
deal.
you should have just gone. Pss, 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 pss.
Oh man.
Use your red laser pointer.
I can do that now. I have
I
that
do have
ability.
dancing lights. I'll save that for another time if I ever need to calm him down.
Yes.
Hey, sorry about that. I just wanted to help you understand. Things have been pretty crazy the past couple weeks here, and as a military person, I'm sure you can understand the need to take heightened precautions in these times. So no offense meant. We did recently get the head of somebody delivered to us, and it was not the right person's head. So stuff's been pretty crazy.
That is despicable. We will find those who have done this and make them pay.
Dearly, I agree. And you look like the type of person that could be in a huge assistance with that.
He has he kind of like slams his gauntlets together and they're kind of like biker gauntlet gloves because he has claws. So the tips of his fingers are out of them so he can have his claws out. And he retracts and like deploys and retracts his claws a couple of times.
That's
And on
cool.
the on the gauntlets you see a giant flaming sword. Like emblazoned on the gauntlet itself. And he turns to you and he takes a breath and he says, "You're wise for a historian. We're lucky to have you on the team."
Oh, I'm a lot more than a historian. Art's just something that I thoroughly enjoy. I was a story taker at the tombs of my people back home in Delastar. I was a remembrancer. So I guess historian's a little bit of what I do. I like to think I help provide some religious guidance to our group of misfits. And I point to my holy symbol necklace around my neck, and let them know that I am a cleric of Arenwell, helping to keep the balance between life and death, and support those who wish to be blessings upon the living, and take out those who would seek to spread undue death.
Ah, Arnwell. I know of Ardwell well. He points to the flaming sword and says, I am a follower of Zukledan, the god of war.
Another devotee. Pleasure to have another adherent of faith.
He raises up his left hand, and he's got like a prayer bead bracelet there, and on it there's dangling the same like flaming sword icon. Indeed.
Cool. So like, why did they send? Obviously, like, we are not going to look any gift horse in the mouth here. They're just like, what was the inspiration, if you were privy to any of that, in addition to the orders you were given?
I am not one to question orders.
Oh no,
However,
not yeah. Thoroughly understand.
if I had to surmise, he flexes a little bit, not like in an arrogant way, but he's just a little agitated, and he just, it's like one of his ticks. And he goes, I have led successful sorties to the lands of the Copper Dragon. I have fought in many battles, and my squad has placed highest in multiple war games. So it is for my skill that they would have sent me here.
Cool. Like cool, not that came out wrong. Like cool, as in that's legitimately impressive to hear. Still working on my tone and the common language. Growing up in Elvish was the common tongue there, so I still sometimes get my enunciation and intonation not fully as intended.
He chuckles and he pats you on the back, and it feels like he's just slammed you on the back really, really hard. And he chuckles a little bit, and he says something that sounds like a bunch of growls and cat purrs to you, and you recognize it's his language, his native language of Leonin. And then he switches back to common and says, I understand your pains.
Remind me to introduce you into a dwarf. He'd give you a run for who can give a better back pat. So he tends to give aggressive hugs.
Yes, someday I would love to meet this dwarf. And then he, like when you're in a conversation and you're waiting for the other person to kind of like engage in the conversation, but they're not. That's what's going on. He's just looking at you now, like, okay,
Staring intently, thinking with his muscles.
yes.
And I'm just staring back like, yep.
Ellen deals an elf.
So
Can do this all day.
big gulps.
His tail swishes back and forth. Is that all?
Yeah. I mean, like, you're welcome to wait with us. I know we can. Some of the group is a little rough around the edges, but they're all good people. Mostly, from my experience thus far with them.
Is there a good place to eat around here to find sustenance? I've been on the road for days.
Oh yeah. How do you feel about elven food? I got a sweet hookup at a temple here.
Lead on.
Now I'm imagining like the Hare Krishna meals you can get.
Yep, and
Dude,
I'll
those are
take
good.
I'll
So
take
good.
him to I'll tell Ito to go tell the people that are waiting for the counselors thing that I'm taking Valerian to the temple, where we'll get some free food.
Zeki will give Elendil one of the known stones, so that if something comes up, he can contact him.
And Ore has that other half.
Like if this new unknown individual tries to eat Elendil.
Well, we have several. I think we have 2 now known pairs.
You have one pair. You know where several of them go, but you've only got one complete pair.
That's right.
And
we
then
have
one
we
to
don't know.
Zamza.
Yeah, we don't. We have one to Zamza, one pair, and then 2 we don't know. The other 2 we know Shadow had them.
Yeah, I'll take one of the pairs. So you can call us back or
Yeah.
whisper to
take-
me like, "Get out of there!"
You
It's
have
an
the other half of
ambush.
the circle. So you and Ore both have the half of the circle.
Okay.
Okay. The rest of you are just waiting with Victor in the town hall.
Mizeki doesn't feel safe. He's just staying in the secure area.
Fair enough. That's
Ore and Sadzi are going to go do library research.
okay.
Yay, library stuff.
What are you researching in the library?
I think it was the same stuff that I hadn't researched yet that we were talking about before. So the information on heroes who have gone up against
Difficult battles.
difficult battles and so forth. So the information that you conveyed before, that's what we're going to go research.
I'd look like your section on guerrilla warfare, volumes 1 through 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably start pulling books on military tactics and battle tactics for superior foes and magic battles. So
I hope
probably
I'm fine.
start delving into that research a little bit, trying to educate myself a little bit more on historical battles that might shed a light in a certain direction.
I'm sad that there isn't like a guerrilla race, so you could have a real magical book about guerrilla warfare.
Satsu's gonna be looking up like dirty tricks to use for hunting.
Okay. Yeah.
Stab him with the pointy end.
There's lots
Well,
of
yeah,
books
but,
on
you know.
hunting. You also stumble across several books on the goddess of the hunt. So plenty of things as you're looking through for hunting. So specifically, her name is Lota, is the goddess of the hunt, and she is a tabaxi.
That's because tabaxi are excellent hunters. As
Indeed.
everyone knows.
Of course.
Natural predators. While we're doing research and kind of sitting across from each other, Ore's going to ask Sadzi, how are you doing? We haven't talked much since we discovered the loss of your father. I have given it a little bit of thought. I was constructed, so I don't actually have parents organically. But I do have a father figure that constructed me. From the memories I have, I believe he considered me to be progeny. But I do not know what has happened to him. With your loss, I wanted to see how you were doing.
I'm mostly just trying not to think about it right now because it's like, yeah, he kicked me out and I was upset about that. And I was hoping maybe I could talk to him, after some time had passed, but now that's not really gonna be something I can do.
What is it that you would have wanted to say to him or ask him?
I wanted to explain, and because it wasn't my fault. I mean, I understand kind of why he banished me, but still, I'm his kid. But he was too freaked out, I guess. And well, now I'll never get the chance to really tell him what happened.
Do you believe that his soul existed, or do you believe that when we die, we just die?
I mean, to some extent, the personality is gone. The core elements of it, I guess, might be able to be reincarnated, but it's not the same.
I have recently dedicated a little bit of my self to the worship of Thalia. Do you know much of the Star Mother?
Not a terrible much.
The belief goes that Thalia shepherds those who have passed in this world into the stars, and then they continue to enlighten us from a distance in the sky.
I think that's a
Perhaps
pretty story.
it is, and it is just a faith. It is a discipline of just belief that allows comfort. However, if there is a truth to it, and there may be a certain truth to the divines, the soul of your father may still exist, even amongst the heavens. If you wish to convey your thoughts to him, he may hear them. Perhaps you haven't lost the opportunity to say what you feel.
Even so, it's not like he could tell me or anything. I'm pretty sure the whole being able to speak thing ends when you die. Anyway, we should get back to our research on these battle tactics.
Understood. I want you to know that I'm here if you need to speak on how you feel as well.
Um, thanks.
And then I just go back to reading, kind of processing back in my head how that interaction went down, realizing I'm not the most charismatic shoulder to cry on, but still felt the need to make the attempt.
Okay.
Zeki makes a tower out of his candy when he got a 25.
You make a tower out of your candy. It looks
Excellent.
delicious.
I will eat one piece.
Make a dexterity check.
22 or 20 if it's not a save.
Okay. Your tower does not collapse as you remove the piece of candy.
Excellent.
All right. So, as you were all going about your different business and various things, Mazeki, since you're there, Victor comes back and lets you know that Tamiki has gotten word that one of the armies in Udra has sent somebody up to Drusus, but they didn't specify for what or for who. But their description does match that of the Leonin you brought in.
Okay, better. And we're not doing anything in particular terribly secretive. Provisional acceptance, I think, is what we'll go with at best right now.
Yes, caution is wise in this current climate.
I will let the rest of the team know. And I believe we will be traveling to that city that's down the road, whose name I've just forgotten. Thanks, brain.
Orthrus?
Orthrus, to visit a particular shop we had heard about, in hopes that we might find some interesting pieces that will help us grow stronger.
Oh, yes, those Aarakocra are here every year trying to recruit people to come to their shop. They don't get as much business as they used to when Drusus became the capital. They lost a lot of business as people come here now instead.
I'm
So,
certainly familiar with the shifting winds of trade.
yeah. So they do what they can to recruit at the festival, and sounds like they got their hooks in you.
It's something to do with a known end that's nearby. Thank
Well,
you very much for the information.
Orthrus is a beautiful city. Take care while you are there. And don't do anything to mess up the city. They are quite strict about many things.
I will be sure to pass that along. Thank you. And with that, he will go, and he knows where Ore is. I don't think he knows where Elendil is necessarily. Yeah, because Elendil went off. So he's going to go find Ore.
Alandiel told you he was taking Valerian to the temple.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the temple very well. He's been to the library like 5 times already.
Yeah.
So he's going to go, and he knows both of them have the stones. So he'll go find Ore and let him know. He'll like explain the situation, like, hey, we shouldn't talk about anything probably super secret, but for now we're not going to provisionally accept this guy, and we should figure out our travel plans.
Ore?
Yeah, Ori just listened to what he said and agrees. We can certainly keep our tact and wits about us in dealing with Valerian for the time being. He does seem pretty devout in his beliefs and capabilities of wishing to provide aid to us. I'm not entirely sure I like the idea of him leading us.
I don't even know what leading us would look like, to be honest, so we'll see how that goes.
I think it would look like trying to herd cats.
Yeah, well, centaurs and cats.
Herding cats is not that hard. All you do is
We've got a cat, a Roomba, a horse, a Minotaur that's not a Minotaur.
And an
Yeah,
elf.
kind of an interesting collection
Yeah,
of
there are
individuals
0
to meet.
humans. Which is why we can make human jokes, and it's very funny.
Very.
All right, so I guess we will ping pong to just. We'll probably not use the stone, just because there's no reason to, and just go pick up Elendil. Or Mizeki will leave them there, go pick up Elendil, and then we can get together all together at the library and figure out: do we want to leave tonight? Do we want to leave in the morning? Maybe look up some code of laws for this place, because now that he's been warned about it, he specifically wants to make sure they don't get into trouble and show up with like their pants on the wrong side or something and go to jail.
I believe I would have informed everybody about the circle to Orthrus from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means we can leave kind of suddenly. So we got to figure out: do we want to leave tonight or tomorrow morning or what?
And do you just want to walk there? That is always an option.
I am fine with any time.
I feel like at this point, most of the party is down with not walking places for a little while, if we can avoid it.
I'm cool with this.
Ori agrees.
I mean, we got the circle. There's no reason to walk there. I mean, then again, no, it doesn't walk
Elendil can
along the
walk.
course.
Yeah,
We
Elendil can
could.
walk.
I don't
The
know.
rest of
The
us will take the
trees by
circle.
Barry's Marsh could be pretty on the road. We might be able to get some good scenic shots.
Elendil can walk if he really wants. Isn't Barry's Marsh closer the other direction?
Not on the way to
Uh,
Orthus.
I mean, the road doesn't really get that close to it. You gotta remember, that's a long way.
True. Well, trees. There might be some good scenic stuff. I was thinking along the coast, but I forget
Yeah.
we're too far inland still to
Yeah,
really get good ocean view.
it's a shame.
We have
So
pond view.
we will probably teleport, is what it's looking like.
No reason not to.
Cool.
Okay. So, at this point, you guys have found. Do you give Valerian your verdict? Valerian is back now, by the way.
He's going to approach Elendil and Valerian and then let him know, like, look at Valerian and say, "You have been provisionally accepted, barring additional orders from on high."
Fantastic.
I told you they'd come around.
And also, Elendil, our plan is to continue forward with what we decided to Orthus, and then perhaps onward to the counselors.
Cool. Oh, I can't
Now,
wait to get a new magic circle for my magic circle phone book.
now, will you please tell me what is our objective?
Getting
will-
further provisions to hunt down the beast that sent us a friend's head.
We are currently tracking, and tracking is a very vague word for what's occurring, a high-profile target that is attempting to harm the council and stability at large.
Say no more.
I wasn't planning to.
As I have told Elendil, we shall find this target and we will show it the might of our strength. Yes, he says that.
Beautiful. All right. I believe the goal is we'll meet up with everyone and decide if we want to leave tonight. I was advised that there are strict regulations in this city, and so it may be worth looking those up before we leave. I'm going to go take a nap.
Okay.
Hey, we need to do some real research on these rules before we go there. I'm going to go take a nap, though.
Hey, Mizeki's been running around delivering messages now, and he's not like he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait at the end for everybody to get back so we can fully decide. Is basically what's gonna happen.
I'll stop a random passerby on the street. I'm like, hey, people say Orthus is strict, like on a scale of normal. Like, is there any like crazy laws you should be aware of, or just standard like, don't disturb the peace?
Don't disturb the peace. Don't litter. Don't cause damage. Everybody must be sleeping inside. No one is to live out on the streets. Yeah. So like
The wealthy
7.
neighborhoods, but a whole city.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of the most beautiful and cleanest places you'll ever see.
Got it. Okay. Don't break stuff. Don't loiter. Don't linger. And be indoors at bedtime. Not on the street.
Yeah. But if you ever like lose everything, I hear Orthrus is a great place to go because, like, they don't have anybody on the streets, so obviously they do something with them. Uh, we understand that, they put them somewhere, but we don't know, like, because we're not there. But, I mean, if they were killing them, like, I'm sure we'd hear about that, right?
That'd probably make the news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem, passerby.
Have a good day. Oh, and if you ever have questions about life or death, the Temple of Otterwell is always open to those seeking to learn more about the afterlife. Have a nice day.
They just kind of stare at you. Not sure if you were, like, threatening them because you were asking them about life and death or not.
I offer no clarification and just smile and wave.
They just put their hand up and, like, wave.
Do you have life insurance, citizen?
For only 5 gold a week, we can guarantee your life insurance policy.
That's very expensive for commoners.
That's like a lifetime of money.
Whew. Man. Yeah.
For just 2 copper a day, you too can help out poor children.
I mean, that
In
is
the arms
also
of
very
an
expensive for
angel.
commoners.
They are the poor children. All right. So, I guess eventually everybody meets up back at the inn, yeah? And does anybody have any problems with the plan?
Ito is
No.
already drunk.
It's fine. At this point,
As
we're
long
gonna
as somebody can keep him from getting too disorderly in Orthus.
we're gonna explain that if he's disorderly enough, we'll leave him behind and he won't get any more stories. And he'll probably cry a little bit depending on what kind of drunk he is.
I guess also we should probably leave like at the start of a day. That way we don't have to rush to find accommodation and find
Good
out what
plan.
happens to the unhoused.
Excellent plan. You don't want to go to jail immediately?
No. Well, then again, I mean, like we could just like say, hey, we're new here. We have money to pay for lodgings.
Elendil, we can solve this problem from the inside. Break out of jail first night. All
Yeah.
right. So the plan is to leave early morning,
Okay.
basically.
Early
So-
morning, leave for Orthrus.
Via circle.
Valerian will not be in opposition to this plan because he just got here today. So he's going to go crash for a little bit after being on the road for a few weeks.
Awesome.
All right. So yeah, you are all able to rest up, and in the morning you head off to the library.
Mizeki will spend part of his rest inside of his screen.
Okay. Anything particular you want to do?
He's gonna organize his pillows and maybe bring some items in with him.
Does the inside of the ring look like Genie's lamp from I Dream of Genie?
It's mostly a really big centaur bed right now. To be entirely honest.
He has
So,
plans,
kind
he
of,
just
yeah.
hasn't gotten there.
Gotcha.
But it's very ring-like.
Yeah.
So. All right. So in the morning, you're able to make your way to the library, back towards the area with the circle. Well, as you come in, the wizards go, on council business, where are you headed today?
Orthus. Orthrus.
Orthrus. All right. And who should we say your business is on?
Utra Command.
Utra Command. Okay. And they go very well. And they take a little bit of time, and then a portal opens up. As you all rush through it, you are greeted by a group of guards, all in very fine, shining plate armor. And they look at you and go, "We understand Utra Command sent you to our city. Could you please inform us what your mission is here?"
Valerian
Zaki's
will
gonna look
salute
at
them, and
Valerian.
he is so happy. This is the happiest you've seen him look in a while. And before he'll look straight at them and inform them of what Elendil had told them and Mizeki had told him before coming here, that we're getting provisions before we go and hunt down this foe. And then he'll look to Mizeki or Elendil to supply the foe's name.
Shadow.
No, we would have talked about this.
I throw my hands up as I say it too dramatically.
All right. The guards look around, look at you a bit, and they go, "You
Shadow's a pseudonym, anyways.
came
Yeah,
here for
probably.
supplies."
Yeah, and I pull out like the potion bottle with like
One
the
of the many
star.
potion bottles we have.
Yeah.
Or it's just allowed.
For these guys.
Specifically, Ashma's armory, archery, and alchemy.
They go, "Okay. I'm surprised the council let you use the circles for that."
This mission is of the utmost importance.
So you need it quick, so we should have the portal ready for you to go in, what, 2 hours?
Indeed.
No,
And then Valerian will just salute them and start walking.
Zaki will clarify. Our next destination has not been set yet, but we will be coordinating with the council, and we'll let you know as soon as we have that information.
In 2 hours.
It
Yes.
probably will not be 2 hours. He's very excited.
We can see that.
Fine. 4.
Maybe.
That is more realistic.
Very well. Just don't get into any trouble or cause any issues in our city, and you will be fine.
No littering, no loitering, no laundering.
Laundering?
Are
Yeah,
you?
with money.
Oh, financial. Okay, no
Yeah.
fraud.
Washing your clothes is illegal in this city.
I needed a third L.
No lascivious activities?
Oh, that would have been
Literally,
good.
loitering and lascivious?
Looting?
Looting is given, though.
Yeah, but the
I-
guards
and-
chime in
and-
like that should have been the obvious L.
And we're clearly discussing this. This is not out of character.
Oh no, 100% in character, yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Where is this fine purveyor of items and goods?
We've got Market Street. It's you go out of here, you head south until you reach just about the gate, and you'll head west for a bit, and you'll find Market Street. I'll let them tell you about it there, but it's quite the interesting story about Market Street.
Oh, good.
I
I
guess
love
it's one of those
history.
ironic. It's actually not where they have markets.
Oh no, it is where the markets are.
Don't
You'll
ruin
you'll
the
see when
surprise.
you get there.
Cool.
So is Valerian going the right way? Since he's just taken off.
South Valerian.
We got to Disneyland and he's just booking it.
Mhm.
He's just walking. I was assuming in my head there's only one way out of here, but he's just going.
If
I mean,
he's
there's one
not
way out of the
going-
building.
Okay.
Yes.
Where
But
the
once he
circle
leaves
is.
the building, if he's not going the right way, Mizeki will message him and tell him you're traveling
I'll
this
run
direction."
up and keep up.
No, wait. He's not just gonna leave the building and keep going 500 meters
Does-
without the team. He's like,
I
come
mean,
on.
Does he need one of those little harness vests?
Yeah, we need to get him a vest that we can talk.
He stops right outside of the building.
Okay, fair. So Mizeki will convey the directions and they will travel to Market Street, where he would love to learn about the history of Market Street.
Okay. So as you come in and you make your way to Market Street, you see that it is all lined just on the west side with various different shops, inns, and taverns. And as you approach, the first building that you see is labeled Isaac's Incredible Imaginary Inn. As you continue, you move on. The next place that you find is Garrig's Greasy Gauntlet Grub.
How many of these did you generate?
As you move down, you get to Ewan's Everything Emporium.
Oh, everything.
The town's theme is alliteration.
I've never been into an emporium before.
Of everything. I want to peek in the window.
Yeah.
So it seems to just be your general shop type deal. It's got little bits of everything here.
Got any? I peek in the door. Got any free samples?
Go.
Bust into the general store. Do you have samples?
This
We've got-
isn't Costco.
We've got a few bits of food and things, but like you have to pay.
Okay, have a nice day. And I just turn around and walk out.
As you continue on, you reach Bona's Bakery, Brewery, and Bookshop, next to Tezzy's Terrific Table Tavern. And finally, at the end, you reach Aisha's Armory, Archery, and Alchemy.
Wait, does the table tavern serve tables? Are there mimics? I have so many questions. We're on mission.
How does the outside of this building compare to the rest on the street?
It is definitely the oldest, but they are all very, very immaculate. Everything in this city is very well clean. Even the streets look like you could eat right off of them.
Ooh. Do they clean the? Do they like release oozes at night? Is that why there's no vagrants? They just get eaten by the ooze that clean their streets.
Don't go spilling trade secrets.
He's not saying yes or no either.
I'll like this is it. I'll peek inside and take a look at everything they've got.
I have concerns about the cleanliness of the city now. Thank you.
So as you peek in, you see that behind the counter of Aisha's Armory, Archery, and Alchemy, there is an Aarakocra.
Hey, we got like your like sample potions at the festival forever ago.
We go.
Man, time's flown.
Yes, it is. We're actually starting our preparations of brewing our potions for the next festival. So, what can we get for you?
We don't know. But
Well, what are you looking for? We've got several different kinds of arrows for archery. We have all various of your alchemical needs, as well as several fine armors.
do you have anything that's good against thunder?
Anything that is good against thunder. Indeed, we have several armors that can protect you against various kinds of elemental damage. And if we don't have it in stock, we can definitely make it up for you.
Don't think we have a lot of money. Team question? I think most of us have spent our money. We didn't have a plan when we came here. It was just we wanted to go because it was a thing we wanted to check off. How about we browse for a little bit and
Do
see
you
if
guys have
anything stands out?
like potions that help you like resist magic?
Well, there's different kinds of magic that can be resisted, but we've got all sorts of different kinds of resistances. In fact, if you're not looking for the armor that helps you resist against thunder, there are the potions that will help you resist against the thunder.
How much does the armor go for?
The armor goes for, well, it's the cost of the armor, so like depending on whether you want it in leather or whether you want it in plate, that's going to affect the
Like
cost.
a breastplate.
Like a breastplate, okay. And then do you wanted like resistance of thunder?
We'll start. What's the pricing on that like?
Okay. Give me just a moment here, and we'll calculate it up for you. And you can see that he starts grabbing an abacus and just kind of moving things around.
Of course, the Aarakocra in the alliteration shop uses the abacus.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't spend an hour on this or something.
I'm just imagining you cackling madly as you write down the letters.
Yeah.
I wish we had something we truly needed to buy. It would feel better.
I mean, there are plenty of potions and various things here that you can
Yeah.
get. How much does breastplate cost? Where is that?
Breastplate costs 400.
Breastplate
give me
costs
some plate mail.
400.
You
Okay.
can't afford plate mail.
Breastplates
know.
for 400. Dang.
Yeah.
Plate
That's-
mail is 1500.
Yeah. So an armor of thunder resistance is going to run you a total of 3,000 gold.
How about a ring?
A ring
Potions is probably more in
of
my price range.
of thunder resistance is going to run you 4,000 gold.
Whew, and a potion.
And a potion
6,000.
of thunder resistance is going to run you 250 each.
Guys, we really should have thought about this before we came
How
here.
long does that last?
So it lasts for 1 hour.
Okay.
Valerian's gonna cut in and talk to the I can't say that word ever.
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra.
Mhm.
Talk to the Aarakocra and really try and persuade them that this is a mission of the utmost importance, and Utra Command has sent us directly here.
Mhm.
And then I'll make a persuasion check.
Okay. Go ahead and
Valerian
make your
isn't really
persuasion
lying.
check.
because he believes it.
Yeah, every time he says that he's sent here by
23.
Utra Command,
Mhm.
Ore just like looks at everybody else like, is this correct?
All right. So Ashoth just kind of looks at you and he goes, "That's cool, but we don't report to Utra, and Utra has no authority here. So if you
Yeah,
want a
but just
discount, go down to Utra."
think about how many people we could show your super sweet wares to and talk about how Drusus has better shops.
He just stares at you and goes, "They do not."
Sorry, Orithis. I legitimately meant to say Orithis, not Drusus. I wasn't looking at the right map.
Sorry, we're teleportation lagged, and we just came in from Drusus. It's an easy mistake to understand.
And so he goes, "Let me get this straight. You want to offer a marketing deal?"
Yeah, I'm Elendil Amekir, and this is my favorite shop in Orthus.
Well, we were the first, so
And think about how many people there are out there that don't even know of your storied history and excellence in product and availability.
that is why we go to the festival each year. We do some marketing. Let's see here. Go ahead and
Yeah,
make
but we could
a
do like a
persuasion
mobile.
check. You can do advantage because of the result that
Who has
Valerian
the
got.
best? I have a 5.
You do it.
Alandiel, you're the one that offered the marketing deal.
Boop, boop.
Mizeki will 100% dive
Oh,
into
actually, that's not too bad. That's a 17 and a 13. So a 17.
Okay.
22.
So with your 17, and he goes, "All right, we can make a marketing deal. I will offer you initially today 10% off of anything that you purchase. If you send business our way and your marketing goes well, then we'll talk the next time that we see you based on how many referrals that we get."
Mizeki's like, what's the cheapest thing in here we can send children to buy? That
Or
sounds
Ore
like a plan.
will ask, could I procure a health potion?
Indeed, we have potions of health. They're 50 gold for the simplest, and the price goes up there based on strength.
Just a basic at present should suffice. Thank you.
I feel like 2 health potions and a potion of thunder resist to be good for us.
Okay. Yeah, so just the basic health potions are 50 gold each.
45.
10%, yes.
Sent
45.
discount. Yeah.
So,
And then the thunder was 250, right?
yep, so 225.
225.
Are we taking this out of the party fund, or are we doing this each? Because I
How
pulled
much?
45
How
off of
much
mine
do we
very
have
quickly.
in the party
The
fund?
party fund's got 187 gold.
Okay, I can give 40.
I'll throw 45 in.
So how much is that now?
What do we want? You guys wanted 2 thunder resistance potions and how many healing potions?
We're gonna get 2 basic healing potions to distribute between us and 1 thunder resist potion. We
I
need
probably have
15.
I probably have enough to chip in for a healing potion, but I'll have to double check.
Ito's got 25 gold, so I don't think Ito will be chipping in.
We are short 13 plus 30, 43.
I'll cover 43.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I want to see if I can negotiate a little further. What if, like, I let you engrave my breastplate with your stuff? It's like a walking billboard.
Also, we do have the bottles.
Can that
we
drive
use
it down a little bit?
I mean, all of the bottles already have their logo on it. That's part of
I know,
their deal.
but they don't need to make another one. That's my point. Like, it's savings.
I'll just have them. Hey,
How much
yeah,
is a refill?
do we get a discount on a refill?
Yeah, I don't think they do the deposit thing where you can turn it in and get money back.
Dang it! This isn't California.
You haven't asked about that. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna ask. That's what I'm saying. We
Um,
have the bottles. Can we? Is there any benefit to that?
So, do you pull out all of the ones that you have? And how many
Yeah.
have you used? Because I know you still have, I want to say, 2 unused, one with a black star on it, and one that you don't see the star on.
We're gonna
I
pull
used
out
the one
all
for
of them.
Ore.
We have. I think those are the only 2 we have unused, and we have 5 used ones.
Okay. So, he'll knock 5 gold off the price for refilling the bottle.
5
Instead of
gold each or 5 total.
5 gold each.
Oh, nice.
For reusing the vial there. And like he checks and he goes, okay, this has got the black one, easy refills.
Cool.
And then he turns to Elandiel and he goes, how long are you in town for?
3
longer
more
I-
hours.
Well,
Then we will be traveling to the wonderful lands of Guy.
I
whose
mean,
name
if
I
you already
keep
have an
forgetting.
engraved one, we can do a trade.
No, I don't have an engraved one, but it would take me some time to engrave it.
You
If it
got any like
probably
swag,
2
like
days.
a cloak?
Well, you know, we
Or like bags? Or like shirts?
I can use prestidigitation to make the symbol on his armor, and it'll last an hour, and it only takes me an action. I can just promise to do that repeatedly.
yeah. But we know you won't.
I mean, I'll try when we're in town.
You'll forget.
That's not my. He's not going to be stalking us.
Right.
Does the
Well,
storekeeper know that?
the storekeeper understands magic, given that,
Yeah,
he's an alchemist. So he'd want something permanent.
that's
So.
fair. I mean, we can have Elendil just draw it real quick
That's true. I
with
can
his paint, like, and that'll last pretty well for a while, right? Unless we get into like some serious shit.
I can put it on my cloak.
He goes, if you stay for 2 days, I can engrave it. I would also like to engrave it on your shield. Whatever else.
We haven't the time.
Well,
Valerian, please.
the Valerian wants us post haste. But
Nowhere.
I sketch out real quick and show him like I'll work and seeing what I can do about this on like a cloak or something. We don't have to add it to any deals today, but I'll remember if I'm ever back here, I'll be able to show you the sweet thing I make.
All right.
How long would it take you to make the engraving? Because we may be able to make accommodations as necessary to extend our time.
I could have it ready in 2 days.
Or he's going to look to the rest of the group.
There is a murderer on the loose.
I agree with Valerian. I don't feel like the delay is worth the benefit.
Yeah.
Let's take what we've gotten. So the total comes instead to
So it's another
300.
10 gold off, so 305.
305. Nice. And we keep our extra bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Cool.
We'll just teleport back here to refill our potions. It's fine.
Yeah. I'll totally have to make a mental note
Yeah,
of
you should
their
grab the circle
magic circle.
if
It's
they
the
let
potion
you.
stop.
All right. So I guess we'll pay for that. Keep the 10 extra gold in the party fund, I guess.
Yeah,
So-
I've already pulled the 45 off of mine.
Yeah, I
Okay.
pulled my money out too, so
So the party fund is now 10 gold.
10 gold, 18 silver, and 12 copper.
that's a lot of money for a poor person.
That is true. For a commoner, that would be a lot of money.
What
All
about
right.
an uncommoner?
We only deal with rare commoners here.
It is what it is, right?
Oh, and I asked him, like, dude, I noticed these streets are like super clean. How do they maintain that?
By punishing severely those who make a mess.
That's what I've heard. Okay. Good.
Yeah, but
As
everywhere
it
does
should
that.
be. I love this town.
I feel like there's something more to it, but I don't have time to investigate.
I don't want to offend anybody that just gave us a sweet deal.
Fair?
Hey, never mind. Thank you. Pleasure doing business.
It was nice to meet you. What were all of your names?
Or he's going to look to Mizeki and kind of give him a nod, like, is this the time?
Mizeki will 100% encourage.
I am Bruce.
Interesting name for a forged.
A bearded forge. Do not forget.
Well,
This is an example of the artistic work. And he's just gesturing to the beard. And then to Elandio.
I helped.
You did. Yep.
It was a team
It was
effort.
it was a team effort.
I am Nazim.
Samantha.
I am Valerian.
And Ito probably shares his name excitedly.
yeah, Ito would say Ito.
And I already introduced myself as Elendil.
Goes well. Hopefully you bring us much business, and then we can offer you an even greater discount.
That's
And
the
hopefully
plan,
You
Stan.
continue to do much business so that we can return.
Indeed. Well, if there is nothing more that I can do for you today.
Where else do we want to go here?
How much would you be willing to buy a potion of fire breathing for?
A potion of fire breathing, you say?
Yeah.
I could purchase that off of you for 30 gold.
How much do you sell them for?
You look
That's what I
around.
should have asked first.
He sells them for 100 gold.
Okay, and then he needs his markup. Yeah, but this one, you like don't have to expend any effort to make. So like, if you took it for say, like 50, then that you get 50 pure profit with no extra effort.
Mm-hmm. The 30 is more than I would purchase it from anybody else. Normally, I would only purchase it for 20.
Ah, dang. Well,
Do we even need it?
I don't think so. That's why I brought up selling it.
That's-
I look to Mazeki not saying his name. I'm like, 30 sound good?
Does that seem reasonable?
He sells it for 100.
Yeah. Let's make a save. That seems reasonable. I mean, magic items are very difficult to shift, and he makes them, so he's gonna get more markup than usual. Sure, why not? We're not using it. We're never gonna remember to use that.
Yeah.
We're gonna need it in the final battle and be like, oh man, that one potion we never
If
used.
only we had kept that potion of fire breathing from all those sessions before.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's gonna be like,
It lasts
we
for an
are-
hour or until used 3 times, so, you know.
yeah, the ancient temple. Breathe into my mouth the fire 3 times. I'm like, oh.
so we are minus 1 potion of fire breathing and plus 30 gold in the group
Okay.
fund.
We've still got a tent and a chest, so we're doing good.
I still have a set of studded leather. Does anybody in
Oh.
the team need that?
I don't think so.
We could sell that as well.
Probably not here, but yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Oh, and I have a regular set of leather as well. So
He-
yeah, I've got 2 sets of armor that I could totally hawk.
He is an armorer, so you could sell it here.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah, duh. That's right. That's on his logo.
Yes.
I was
do
thinking
have,
of metal armors for some reason.
I do have some sets of leather armor and studded leather armor if you would be willing to acquire these in trade. Purchase.
He'll look them over. So for the studded leather, he'll give you 13 gold and 5 silver. And for the leather, he will give you 3 gold.
Let's put that all in the party, and I'll get rid of those 2 leather armors that I have.
Wait.
How much?
So each leather is sold for 3 gold, and studded leather for 13 gold, 5 silver.
Right, so it's 1 set of leather, 1 set of studded leather.
So 16 gold, 5 silver.
Okay.
We are the richest poor people I know.
Or the poorest rich people you know.
It's better to be positive, is what my therapist says.
We'll hold on to the
Exactly.
potion of acid resistance.
Yes, resistances are always good. We might need to go through acid at some point.
Like when the oozes come out to clean the streets.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would make a lot of sense. Why are there no vagrants? Why is the city so clean? Well, every night oozes come out and clean the streets. It's a self-resolving problem.
They have a special team where they have the ooze on leashes so they can make sure they're not like going to places they shouldn't go.
Special
like in the-
undissolvable leashes.
Yeah,
Undissolvable leashes.
It's like the street sweeper signs, right? Little like plates of specific kinds of metal come out so the oozes can't melt them along the shop rows.
Mm-hmm.
Program dungeon Roombas.
You think that's
They
just a
stick to the
decorative
streets.
planter. It's actually the purposefully placed barrier to keep the ooze from getting onto the sidewalk.
That's officially now how that works. I like it. Good.
Until
right.
proven otherwise by you guys staying a night in the city.
Excellent. Which we're not even doing because Valerian's ordered us to leave. How are we even getting there?
The power is going to Valerian's head.
We have a teleportation truck, right?
No, we don't have a teleportation destination to our next destination.
I mean, well, what's our next I'm assuming we're having this
Spooky
conversation
Man Land.
outside instead of just. Should
Yeah.
we take this outside, guys?
Well, no, we've already had this conversation in character. Like this
Oh,
is
yeah, we were
happening.
going to.
We're
Were
going to
we
Spooky
gonna?
Man Land.
Okay, so we go back to Drusus.
Yeah, unless we haven't come up with a better reason, and unless we want to stay here and find out if the slimes do come out at night, or if it's just the police.
Either way, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's not true. I do want to know, but I don't want to stick around to find out.
Yeah, as we're walking out of the place and kind of making our way back to the library, Ori's going to be looking at the healing potions and then kind of looking through his bag and kind of say to the team kind of quietly, I bet I could reproduce these. Just kind of to himself, but aloud.
I like the way you
should
think.
Then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to the fact that I had in my equipment a healer's kit and or a herbalism kit, and I do have the herbalism kit proficiency, so I can technically make.
Can-
It's cheaper to make them too, right? Isn't it like 25 gold to make a healing potion?
Yeah.
You need
So
the downtime too.
yeah, it's 50% of the cost essentially is what you do. But yeah, it takes downtime.
Yeah, we've had a
Okay,
little bit of
next
that on
time we're
boats
on a
and so
boat
forth.
for a long time, like when we use these, we can refill them ourselves. and
yeah.
Sell them as knockoffs.
Yeah,
Or
remind me of
just
that
keep them.
before I forget next time.
That's true. Keep filling up our same potions.
I can make them substandard quality, and we can start handing them out with the logos on them.
I don't think we want to make substandard to sell.
No, that's why you hand them out.
You're just gonna water them down. Classic trick.
Okay, so we're going back to this. It's circle. Go back to Drusus to head off to Harrington.
Yep.
Okay.
Beam me up, Scotty.
All right. So, is there anything else that you guys wanted to do?
I want to
While
ask
you're
the Eric
here.
Krokra if how business with steel is and if they have any over there.
He goes, we don't get a lot of business from steel, given that it's on the other side of the ocean. They come here, though, occasionally to advertise their technology. They have many wonders. Just at the last festival, they demoed a cart that drives on its own. That was cool. And
a flying gnome.
yeah, oh, you were there. You saw the gnome like flying through the sky.
We did. It was really cool.
Yeah, like, man, I didn't know you folk could do that. That's like crazy.
Is he looking at Ore when he says that?
No, he's
No, he non-winged people.
yeah,
non-winged people. He's being subtly not
Oh,
racist.
right. He's an Aarakocra. right.
yeah. He doesn't need anything to fly.
Well, he does, but he naturally has it.
Yeah. So
Needs gumption and moxie.
you know,
When you're close to the ground, the sky seems a great wonder.
he just nods and goes, "Fair, fair." So, anything else I can get you while you're in my shop?
I think that covers us for now. Well, definitely. So you do arrows too?
Oh yes, we have
And
all
bows?
sorts of kinds of arrows. We have some bows, but we don't make them. We're better at making the arrows. We're more of Fletchers than Boyers here.
Okay.
But any kind of arrow that you want, we can make. We have all sorts of false tips in our arrows that can hold various kinds of liquids.
Ooh.
Particularly poisons are obviously the most common and choice, but we have a few that we've combined with our alchemist's fire here. That's always fun surprise.
Firebomb arrows?
Yes, yes.
Oh, dang. I've been known to dabble with a bow. How much is for a firebomb arrow?
So he goes, we sell them in sets of 5. We don't do individual arrows. It depends on like what level you want of that. If you want it to only do a little bit of
Your entry level
okay, okay.
set of 5.
Give me
Entry
your
level
entry level
set of
explosives.
5. We could do a set of 5 for 50.
With the discount?
Oh, okay. 45 for you, sir.
Deal. I'll buy 5 of them.
Okay.
Okay. So I have 5 alchemist fire arrows.
So they do 1d4 fire damage when they hit, in addition to the piercing damage.
Cool. I can catch stuff on fire
And they
from
look.
a distance.
So can
Okay.
anyone with firebolt?
Yeah, but I don't have firebolt.
Sadzi does. You can ask nicely.
Yeah, but now I can do a little bit of insult to injury.
Yeah.
Or sneakily and quietly without a giant fireball going.
And with a longbow, he can do it at a range of 600 feet instead of 120.
Not accurately, but sure.
You don't know. Maybe he
You
took
know-
sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter cleric.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Doesn't sharpshooter work with magic casters as well?
there's a different
No,
one
only weapons.
for
Spell
that.
sniper.
Spell
Yeah.
sniper. That's the one. Yeah.
So, but that would still only make Firebolt 240. So,
Okay, I think that's all
okay,
my business.
fair enough. All right. Are you stopping anywhere else in on Market Street while you are here?
The
think we're
table
all-
place, the emporium of everything.
We can window shop a little bit, but I think we're kind of poor now.
Relatively.
Okay. So you want to go to Tezzy's Terrific Table Tavern? Or
Sure. We still have
Ewan's
3 hours
Everything
before-
Emporium?
Yeah.
We
Okay.
should certainly try the local cuisine while we are here.
So Garrick's Greasy Gauntlet Grub.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. All right. So you enter into Garrick's Greasy Gauntlet Grub, where you are greeted by, behind the bar, a Goliath with all sorts of tattoos all over his very white skin and
Oh, let's arm wrestle
completely
this guy.
bald, and muscles just kind of bulging. He goes, "Welcome to Garrick's Greasy Gauntlet Grub. Grab a table. We'll get to you in just a moment."
Are you Garrick?
No.
What's your name?
Garrick's my dad. I am Garhawk.
Garhawk Garrickson.
Uh,
Sure.
I would have guessed Garrick Jr.
No, that's my brother.
Well, nice to meet you. We will find a spot to sit. And Mizeki will look for centaur accommodating seating.
There are a few tables where you could fit your behind
It would probably
without
just be
getting
like
in
a
the
bench,
way.
really. Like it could be a bench and he would just sit his middle on it, kind of
Mhm.
like laying on your stomach, except your torso's attached.
Mhm. Okay. So after a couple minutes, eventually a gnome runs up to your table, and he goes, "What can we get for you today?"
I will hide my disappointment that it is a much smaller person this time. I was excited and hoping that the next person would be even larger.
I'll have a steak.
What kind?
Any.
He looks at you for a moment. Um, yeah, and he goes, "Okay, any steak, we will do so."
Clarification. Any steak that is reasonably priced.
He goes,
He finds one on the menu and just points at it.
We don't have one of those, sir.
"Okay, reasonably priced steak, got it."
I'm
Uh,
assuming we have menus in front of us.
no, they don't have any menus.
Cool.
Is what sort of fare is here? Only local material? What do we have? What are our choices?
Oh, we have all sorts of different kinds of foods. Our chefs, they're from the Great White North. Uh, they make all sorts of grub from up there. Apparently, it's fantastic food. Recipes that are as old as the tribes themselves that they've brought down with them to our little town.
That sounds amazing. Do you have a soup of the day?
We do. It is a fresh seafood soup. They uh, brought the recipe down from up in the frigid tides where they would catch that. So they don't get quite the same fish down here in the Aegis Ocean, but they put the same principles to work.
I will have the soup de jour.
All right. Anybody else who would like to order next?
Can I get an inexpensive steak? Whatever's the cheapest, and can I have it blue?
Blue?
As in, before it hits rare.
I think she means uncooked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can bring you
Now
an
just
uncooked
sear it a
steak.
little bit.
Sear it a little bit. Okay, we can do
Leave
that.
the his face away from the
And
stove as you pass by.
you would like the cheapest cut as well.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get hot dogs.
All right. And you, sir? Looking at you, Alondio.
Water's fine.
Just water. Okay. And then Ito will place his order, whatever Ito is getting. And then Ore, the server, looks at you and he goes, "What would you like, sir?"
You said you have cuisine from the far white north.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes.
is what is your main special for that territory?
Uh, well, there is they import crag cat in a few times a year. Uh, that's the biggest special. We currently don't have any of that, but we have various different kinds of game and wildlife from up there.
Do you do a sampler's platter of some sort?
Oh, yes, sure. We can bring you a sampler's platter.
Thank you.
All right. So the
That
gnome.
sounds delicious. Valerian wants one of those too instead.
instead of the steak?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like a sample platter of steaks.
A sample platter of steaks?
Yes.
Okay.
This isn't a Brazilian steakhouse.
And he goes, all right.
So they take one steak and they cut it into multiple slices, or
Very
you,
well.
and it's just little pieces.
Exactly.
And he leaves, and after a few minutes, he comes back bringing you your food. And so, Sadzi, he sets down this steak in front of you, and it's not meat. It is an aubergine steak, and he just sets it down in front of you, and he goes, there you go, our cheapest steak. And on your platter of steaks, that is included as well, Valerian, as well as different cuts of meat from all various different kinds of animals. There is cow, there is pig, there is several different kinds of seafood as well from the ocean, as well as some various areas, bear, all sorts of different kinds of animals. And
How
each one
is
is just about a single bite.
how is Sadzi reacting to her fabulous steak?
Her eggplant steak.
Have you ever seen a cat when they smell something kind of gross and they curl their lips up? Like that.
In the first and maybe only act of kindness from Valerian today, he'll offer Sadzi a couple of the types of meat that he's already eaten, like knows what they taste like before.
For you, Sadzi, they're probably overcooked. They're all cooked at about a medium rare. So
Mizeki will
still.
offer to take Sadzi's eggplant.
Meat is better than no meat.
Dude, eggplant
So it's
steaks
like-
are great.
They are.
That was something like my grandmother
delicious.
used to make.
But
It's probably like 6
not
bites of food.
meat.
but you asked for steak, not meat.
Boom.
Yes, yes, yes. I
Correct.
know.
And it is as requested, not very cooked. It was basically just thrown onto the grill for
On
about
this
5
raw
seconds on each
eggplant.
side. So yeah,
That's
like
disgusting.
they were
I mean,
confused,
he's all about it.
but
They're crispy. They're crunchy. Like he's got good teeth for that, you know.
Mhm. So yeah, and so since you did a sampler platter of various steaks, Ore, so your platter comes out and it has several single bites of food of various different meats and cheeses, in addition to all different kinds of vegetable dishes, rices, things like that. That in addition, there are about 20 shot glasses, as that all have
Wow.
different liquids in them.
That's a generous platter.
That is a pretty generous platter. Now, are these all again like single bite size?
Yeah,
tastes,
everything
or-
is just like single bite.
Cool. So yeah, anything that he's recognized that he's already tried on their travels, he's not going to try those first. Kind of leave those on that, and go for everything that he doesn't recognize that he's already eaten so far.
Okay. Yeah, so there are several various kinds of meats that you don't recognize on here. They are all very good, quite tasty. You're not really sure what animals they are, but you've enjoyed every single bite of it. As you taste one in particular, you have a quick moment where your eyes go out of focus for everybody else, and you remember Jinzin cooking up a stew, and you see him taking this small creature, or white fur, long ears, and cutting it up and butchering it in and throwing it into the stew.
Kind of like a rabbit or
A
hare of
rabbit.
some kind.
Yes.
So following, like having a little bit of that moment and just kind of having that memory, he just savors that moment as well as he can. And once he's done with everything he doesn't recognize, he's going to offer what's left to Elondiel and Sadzi.
Okay. What about the drinks?
He's going to try all the drinks.
Okay. Yeah, so they're all just single shots of various things. About 5 of them are alcoholic. The rest are just various kinds of juices and specialty drinks that they have here.
Assuming nothing else gives him any kind of a memory, he is actually going to kind of relish in the fact that he's had another memory for the first time in months.
Yeah, nothing else triggers a memory from your taste.
I'll take whatever of the platter, half of the meats.
Yeah, there have been plenty of meats that you guys have tasted and tried on your adventures that Ore will offer over to you. Mostly seafood, as you had from the colossal duck.
Yummy.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. So your bill is brought around, and your total comes to 10 gold.
How much was my platter specifically?
Yours was 7.
I contribute the full. I'll pay for the full meal. I'll pay the full 10 gold for the entire table.
Yeah, yours was expensive, and then the next most expensive was the steak platter, which accounts for basically the rest of that, and everything else is basically negligible comparatively.
Right. Yeah. So I pay for the whole table. Gladly for having another little bit of a existential moment of memory.
Valerian tries to pay you 3 gold.
Mizeki will accept the 3 gold.
You being Ore.
That didn't change my stance.
No, Ore doesn't go for it. He notices that occasionally we will tip, and he thinks this is just what they're doing. They enjoyed their meal as well.
Yeah. Mizeki will take the 3 gold and put it into Elandil's bag for the team fund.
And the whole restaurant stares at you like, "What are you doing?"
Are they
Yeah.
sure? Hold on. Did they beat a 24 sleight of hand, Ore? This is all I can do.
When it comes to skipping on the tip, yeah, they catch that.
You are assuming that they tip in magical D&D land.
Well, they might not
that is-
catch that you took the 3 gold from Valerian's hand, but they would definitely catch that the bill was 10 and there's not more than 10. If tips are a thing in this world.
Maybe they actually pay their servers a living wage.
Who knows?
This is
No.
fiction, right? We can do that?
No. How would trickle-down economics work if you did that?
So it's kind of like European
You're
tipping.
assuming
There's
that
not actually
trickle-down-
tipping in Europe because they do pay them a living wage.
Yeah. Like, you leave, like, change. That's it.
Okay.
Is this part of the town close to the ocean at all?
So Market Street is on the west side, and the ocean is on the east side. So, not really.
Do we still have time to walk and get a good view of the port before we have to make our trip back to the magic circle?
So all in all, your meal took you about an hour, and your shopping took you about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we had like 3 hours left after we were done shopping, so we have like 2.5 hours left still.
Cool. I
Yeah.
definitely want to go take a look at the port and start sketching out the basis for a great seaside landscape.
Okay.
Looking for a hop on, hop off tour of the city.
Yeah, so you can definitely head out to the port. There are several ships out at sea, and you can see that there are boats that actually take you to Delistar, specifically to Emberhall, is the city that they would head to. So there are ships that go from Orthrus there, as well as there are ships that go from Orthrus over to Oberland's Haven, which is on the continent of Manway.
when I see that, I inquire how long the trip is and how much the trip costs.
Okay. So the trip to Oberland's Haven takes 3 months by boat. And that is using the Merchant's Mist to gain in travel time. So they make sure that you pass through the Merchant's Mist for that. And they go, the travel there one way is 2 gold a person. If you're hesitant and nervous about going through Merchant's Mist, then it will take 4 months to get there, and is only 1 gold per person.
We're gonna spend 90% of the campaign in boat loading screens.
There's lots of water in this campaign.
There is.
Yeah.
Is there a reason we're not? Is Ore just investigating to investigate?
So Ore learned earlier that there's a library in Oberlin's Haven, and then Steel is travelable from there. So it was just more curiosity than let's go on a boat ride.
But every time we go on a boat ride, we have a prime instance to say that we're on a boat.
And we're going fast.
Wearing my naval pashmina afghan.
So the plan is to go back to. So it sounds like we have time to go see the port, like Elendil wanted to see, which we're there. But we have 2 hours left in the city ish. Do we want to go back to Drusus then, and then see if they can teleport us to our destination? I mean, there's got to be a circle there, right? Because that guy's a counselor.
His people have to come to us to take us there if we want to teleport. But regardless, we would be closer from that direction.
I mean, we're not the ones teleporting, right? It's like the royal wizards teleporting
Well,
us.
yeah,
So
but-
don't they know?
Well, no, they don't. The council, the people in Drusus, don't have the teleportation circle for this guy. He comes with his own people,
Oh yeah, that's sketch.
right? That's why I call him Spooky Man.
You have to ring the buzzer.
Yeah. Which, I mean, given the lack of security in the rest of the council, I don't hold it against him. But we would probably have to go there and communicate with him and ask if he can teleport us. And if not, we will take a boat or cart or wagon or Ore will drive us as a bear.
Just Ore turns into a horse, and Ore and Mazeki take turns pulling a wagon.
Or Mazeki takes turn pulling the wagon by himself.
He's
That's
a
not
delicate
taking
flower.
turns.
Seki's not pulling the wagon. That's not happening.
He can grievously pull the wagon.
A, horses are large size and benefit from double carry weight. B, Zeki does not.
Mazeki benefits from double carry weight.
Not from carrying a wagon.
Fair.
Sounds like we need to spend the rest of this episode doing the math on how much he can tow.
How many horsepower is Mizeki after all?
1/2.
It's like 0.5 or so, yeah.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was agreeing with you.
All right. Anything else to do here in not Drusus or Orthrus?
Yeah, man. I can't believe you were like, well, tell them the shops are better in Drusus.
No, I legitimately meant where we were
Kicks
at.
down the door.
I just
What's
like
up, shitty
blanked
shopkeeper?
completely. I was like, it's the one city name we've been saying so much is Drusus. And then I was like,
Elendil's
ah,
plan.
crap. The moment it came out, I'm like, that's the wrong city.
He was negging the shopkeeper in the hopes that they would fall for it.
Reverse
Yeah.
psychology.
All right. So
Walking
you
to Burger King
guys,
and praising
anything
McDonald's.
else that you want to do in the city?
Yeah. Leave.
Okay. All right. So you make your way back and are greeted by the guards who have the portal ready for you. And as they're leading you back into the room with the teleportation circle, they go, "So what did you think about the history of Market Street?"
Fascinating.
I don't remember.
You didn't
Nobody
ask.
Yeah, we
I
didn't ask
know.
because you got all excited about the shop names. I'm
What a
gonna go back
unique.
and find out. Hold on, we've left something behind. I'm gonna go ask someone.
And
Tell me about it, please.
he
I
goes,
want to know.
the
No,
portal's,
no, I'm gonna go back to Market. No, there'll be another portal later.
you'll
Can't
have to
miss it.
pay for that one then.
Oh, fine. Never mind.
What a
Can you tell
unique
me
and
about it real
storied
quick?
history.
He
How long
goes,
does it take to tell me about this?
More than 6
more
seconds and
than
the
more
portal's
than
open.
6 seconds.
It's
Yeah,
only
it's like as he's leading it back, he's asking
Oh.
you basically to get a one-word answer from you guys to be like, "Oh yeah, that was cool."
I want to hear more about it.
You're like,
I don't even mention. I don't respond because I'm busy looking at the floor, the circle.
you don't have the time to record it because
With
they
my
like,
eyes, I'm not
He's,
going to write it down, but I want to look at it.
he's gonna
right?
get like a third of it each time.
Yeah. Okay. You definitely don't get the address of it, but you have an idea of what it looks like.
What's
So,
their IP?
but you make it back through the portal to Drusus. There, you're
Those dudes suck. Orthus blows.
It is a city of order. I can tell that is not something you are accustomed to.
Order's fine, but there's no life. The architecture was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but like
That
just
city was impeccable.
just missing
There could have been more
like
shouting and singing.
people. Yeah, man. But I mean, I guess like it's a vacation destination. Maybe not horrible, but
Be a nice place to get
everybody's
onto a
just
cruise.
business.
Be
Like
a
they
really
have a
nice place to get
beautiful
onto a
city,
cruise.
but they can't take the time to enjoy it.
Yeah, nice to visit, not to live.
Like California.
Hey.
or Florida.
Eh,
That's a bold claim of nice to visit, but sure.
Yeah.
it's
As long
tolerable
as
to
you're not
visit.
driving, I guess it's okay.
I mean, that
See,
can be
I
said
drive
about
worse,
most
and that's why I
places.
do it.
Yeah.
No, the contention in our family is that I drive worse, and therefore, whenever we have to go back to Florida, I have to drive.
That's
Are
not
they
true.
hoping you'll like die on the way or something?
No, it's because my style of shitty driving matches the Florida style of shitty driving more closely.
Got it.
Because that's where I learned to drive.
Fair. All right. Well, you have arrived back in Drusus. The city is, bustling as normal. It's only been 4 hours since you left, so it's midday. What are you wanting to do in Drusus? You were informed of the ways to get to Harrington 2 days ago now, when you first mentioned
Valerian
it.
is going to be a little confused because I don't think he's been looped in that Harrington is not where the murderer person is.
Yeah. Why would you be confused then?
So in the future, he'll be future confused, expecting us to go find this person that Elendil told him about that we need to murder. And then we're going to get there. It's going to be like, surprise!
Valerian
Hey,
should
it's
understand
not
as a soldier,
murder, it's administered justice.
and Valerian should understand as a
There's
soldier that all
there's the
justice
distinct
administration
difference.
is a process.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We're not murdering. We're meting out justice. That person is a murderer.
Right.
And it's
Correct.
a process. You don't just go and administer justice. There are steps along the way that have to be taken, like making sure that you're not going to have justice administered to you.
No, be murdered. It would be murder if it happens to
Okay.
us.
Fair.
We are vengeance. We are the night.
All right. So just as a reminder, there are a couple of ways that you could go down to Harrington. So the first that they said was to head south from Drusus over into Typhon's Folly, which they gave you the warning about. They don't understand why people live there, and then continue south past the Blue Lake to Harrington. The other way would be to head to Orthrus and then head south there until you reach Mint, head up to Zundare, and then pass through the Hand of the God Mountains under through the High Throne of Bedrock and
That
reach
sounds
Harrington
way
that
longer.
way. Oh, it's much longer, but it's also considered safer.
Valerian's vote is not the safe way.
At
The
this
fast
point,
way.
sure, why not? More challenges is more times to grow stronger.
Magical disappearing land. I think all in favor. Raise your hand.
I will raise my hand.
Any
and-
opposed? Raise your hand. Anybody opposed to going through Typhon's Folly?
Ore is not opposed.
It seems like a good place if there is trouble. Maybe we can help out.
Typhon's Folly has it. Let's go.
All right.
Your method of following command and decision making is baffling.
It's okay. We all knew it was going to go this way. It's just a formality.
Okay.
It's
Pretty much.
Mizeki will pretend to write down the decision on a piece of paper.
All right.
It's
So
important
there
that we
is
record our choices.
a road that heads south out of Drusus, but you could also technically take a boat across the Black Pond to Typhon's Folly as well.
That sounds fun. I've never done
Why is the
that.
Black
Is
Pond
that
called
faster?
the Black Pond? I ask to anybody that's at my answer.
Everybody that's just kind of passing down the street just kind of ignores you, like you're not talking to them, so why would they stop and answer?
I tap one. Excuse me, person. I'm new to Drusus. Why is the Black Pond called the Black Pond?
I imagine because it's a pond, and someone liked the name Black. I don't know.
Oh, it could be named after someone,
Any
that's true.
dangers one must know to traverse?
It gets really deep in the middle, so don't swim
Don't fall
across
off.
it.
Got it. Standard water procedures. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Hey, and in case you ever need any services, the temple here in Drusus of Otterwell is available to answer any questions you might have about life and death. Have a
All I
nice
can
day.
imagine is
And
Elendil
he just
saying,
kind of reaches his hand back out to you and he goes, "You're not planning to kill yourself in the pond, are you?"
No. I plan on crossing it. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any dangers that I needed to be aware of before crossing it, so that I don't die prematurely.
Okay, because the life and death talk.
he's just really dedicated to his faith, and they don't have very good PR.
No, hey,
Mizaki's
everybody
gonna kind
dies.
of
Death is a
put his
normal
hands on
part
his
of the
shoulder.
cycle of life. It is in this great grand world that has been created for us by the deities. Death is a part of our life, of the cycle that we all go through.
Elendil's baggage is full of pamphlets that say everyone dies.
And that's okay. There is more. It is
That's the back
part of
page,
everything.
and it's okay.
Yeah, you
Mizaki's gonna
shouldn't
kind of guide Elendil away.
you should not waste your life and needlessly race towards death. But you should live, enjoy life, live life.
Valerian will clear his throat as Mizeki tries to whisk Elendil
Already
away.
die happens.
All right, so as you are saying this, the man hands you a card and he goes, "You should go visit them. I think you need it." And as you look at the card, it says Moonstone, licensed therapist of Drusus. And it's got an address and everything of where to find them in the city.
Cool.
And then he just looks at the rest of them and go, "You're all gonna make sure he's okay?"
Yeah, it's fine.
We watch out for each other.
Okay.
Of course I'm fine. Like, why wouldn't I be?
You talk about death an awfully lot.
Because people are afraid of it, and they don't have to be.
Yes, that is enough. Let us be off. Trust me, passersby. No harm will come to our friend here.
Everything is fine.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay.
We're gonna have a chat with Elendil about his
the-
roadside manor on the way.
Is the boat faster?
It is faster because you can just cross from one side to the other, but there is no road from once you get to the other side of Black Pond to anything directly. The road passes by the pond about 5 miles off, so you'd be tracking through 5 miles of wilderness before you found land, before you found a road there. Whereas the road south goes down and crosses the river, and then it bends up towards one of the hamlets and continues west towards the other.
Or
How
we could
much
just take it
slower is
south and follow the mountains.
You could take it south and follow the mountains. Yeah, you could take it instead of crossing the pond. You could go all the way down the river to the Hand of God Mountains and follow the edge of the mountains all the way down to Harrington.
I feel like whichever path is most direct and won't require us to likely have to hire a guide is our best bet.
Okay.
So I think we can do 5 miles of wilderness if we have to.
Well, I mean, like, it might just be like the road, and then hey, there's huge mountains in the distance, and then just follow them.
Yeah, we can walk southwards towards mountains. That's not too bad.
Okay. That would take you around Typhon's Folly, so you'd avoid Typhon's Folly going that way as well. So
Yeah, I mean, once in like the hamlets, is there a good way to get to Harrington?
you would head south from the hamlets until you reached the Blue Lake, and then cross the Blue Lake. And once you've crossed the Blue Lake, you are in the nation of Harrington.
Is crossing the Blue Lake a thing that is normally done?
Uh,
Or are we just gonna
Like-
get to a lake and
Try and flag
well,
down a
how do we-
fisherman.
there are
Yeah.
not like ships that do it very often. So there is a city on the edge of Blue Lake. There is a small strip of land, and there's a city built on stilts because at high tide, that small strip of land is completely submerged and underwater. The Blue Lake is actually part of the ocean, where as the tide comes in, it fills in that area.
If there are no direct roads, paths over the ferries, that's what they're called, let us take a road
Mhm.
and walk with our feet and our
Right.
paws.
So the most direct route into the actual city of Harrington is through the Hand of God Mountains, as the exit will bring you just outside of the city.
How close does that run us to the Kingdom Under the Mountain?
How-
High Throne of
how-
Bedrock.
You would
How
have to
long would it
pass
take?
through the higher throne of Bedrock to get there.
Which
Let's do
we
it.
can't do? Can we? Can we do that?
So that would be going through Orthrus down all the way till you
Well,
reach
can
to
we
Mint
teleport
and
to
then
Mint?
up to Zundare. So
Yeah,
we
can we teleport to Mint?
Let's rack up those points. Would it be faster to
Actually-
teleport to Mint and go through the Hand of God than to
Why?
go all
Why
the way
don't?
through the-
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Why don't we just teleport directly to Zundare?
they don't
That's
have a
right by the-
teleportation circle there.
What? It's a big trade city.
Well, we don't have the address to it.
Yeah, because it's not a capital city.
It's basically
They-
go to the capitals.
Somebody there might have one.
Why can't we just teleport directly into the High Throne of Bedrock? That's the capital city of the dwarves.
Yeah, but the dwarves
Do you
don't
really want to persuade
share
the
that.
dwarves?
I assume the dwarves bring themselves, similar to how Spooky Man.
In fact, you would know that the dwarves bring themselves because you traveled with them. Zeki.
Yeah.
I do.
And one of your good friends is a dwarf.
who's currently
Well,
MIA.
he didn't tell me about their teleportation habits, to be fair. When we teleported my people.
Yeah, because
Okay,
they
that is
freaking
true,
made him
yeah.
walk. All right, let's travel to Mint and then walk from there. Then that's fastest. It sounds like.
Yeah, if that's quick, that sounds reasonable.
Uh,
And we can potentially stop in the city and be like, "Hey, where'd Stefan go?"
yeah, so it would probably take you just as much time heading south from Drusus and staying along the backside of the Hand of God Mountains as it would traveling up to Zundair and then through the High Throne of Bedrock. That is considered the safer option, and you get to deal with dwarfs.
Yeah, let's do that. I'd rather
That
be in
sounds
civilized
more
lands
fun.
than
Yeah,
wilderness.
than walking along the base of mountains we can't visit. Like,
I forgot about the teleportation mint. Highly in favor of that.
And there is a lot more cities because we'll visit Mint, we'll visit Zundair, we might visit like what else is that over there? Anvil? I'm not on the map up. And then through the High Throne Bedrock. So we could go to like 4 or 5 cities on the way. That sounds way more interesting than like
we're gonna
here on the back
teleport
mountains.
to Mint, so we'll go from Mint to Zundair and then straight through.
Yeah, Ore is all for going to Mint
Yeah.
to Zundair through the mountains.
Okay, that's still
Alright.
3 cities.
Yeah.
And start really thinking about maybe being able to check Sephin as we go through there as well.
Right.
We had a map. Did we ever get a map? Did we buy one?
You did buy a map.
Can we notate where we've been on our map? That seems like a good idea. Like where the cities are,
Yeah.
like or where the teleportations are.
You absolutely can. If only you as players had a way to keep track of things like that.
That would.
If only.
Yeah. Weird. Huh.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map currently.
I
and
have the
no
map
notes.
now. I
should
clicked
add
5
a layer
times.
to it.
It was arduous.
Yeah, we should definitely add a layer to our map that has like we can teleport here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Well,
So yeah, we go to Mint. Oh, we're gonna be close to home, Mizeki. We're gonna be so close to home.
Yay!
And then through Zundair, and then High Throne of Bedrock. Oh yeah, and then just go through to Harrington.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's our plan.
So
They'll have really good rock candy in there. Nice.
And really good ale.
Yes.
That's less
All right.
important.
Sounds like a winning combination to me.
Well, I think we'll go ahead and end here for the week, and we'll pick up with you starting your travel from Mint to Zundair next week, and we'll see how things go. But thanks everybody for coming out, for watching, for joining. Thanks for everybody that
Yay.
followed and subscribed today. I always appreciate that. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
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 Bye.